What's up, everybody? Tomorrow is the portfolio update, but before I get into that until tomorrow, I wanted to make this video because so many people, they hear so many things thrown at them and they don't really know what to do. They hear Roth IRA, they hear 401k, they hear 401k match, they hear dividend portfolios, they hear brokerage institutions and blah, 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 blah. And it starts to, you really don't know where to start. This video, I want to break it down. I've done this before, but I did this when I had like 2 or 3 subscribers. And shout out to all the new people who joined. Thank you so much for rocking with me. But I wanted to say this. If I was starting over again from scratch and I knew what I knew now, can you imagine if we could start over, right? If we could just start over with some of the things that we did, the stupid stuff we did, or the stupid stuff we bought. Can you imagine if we could start over or even the people we were with? All right, so if I could start all over again from scratch, the day I started working, the first thing I would say, now this works at any age. You could be as young as 18, I believe, or you could be as old as 100. It don't make a difference. Whatever job I was working, I would ask them, excuse me, do you offer a 401k match? Do you offer a 401k? The reason why is a 401k match is pretty much free money. Meaning they'll tell you there's a certain percentage that you have to put in and then they'll match you that percentage, or they'll say the maximum will match is 5%. You do the maximum and then that way you get the maximum of the match. These are most likely, you have to go to these offices because people don't ask the who, what, where, when, and why. And black folks, we definitely never ask the who, what, where, when, and why, and sometimes how. We got to ask questions. It's going to be the office that either pays you, human resources, your management office, you know, whoever's in charge of payroll. You ask them those questions. Do you offer a 401k match? If you do, great. How much do I got to contribute? They're going to sit you down. They're going to give you forms. And then a portion of your paycheck will be diverted into the 401k. Now, once you get into the 401k, I would pick low cost index funds. A total stock market index fund. From my understanding, a lot of 401k plans don't offer a total stock market index fund. Next up, I would do, you know, either or, S&P 500 or a total stock market. If they don't have that, do a target date fund. A target date is you subtract your age from when you think you're going to retire that year. So it'll be like a 2030, 2040, 2050, 2060. And it automatically balances bonds and stocks because they tend to go more bonds when the stock market, they tend to go more bonds when you get older because they want your money to be more secure. That's what I would do at the very beginning. This is going to be controversial. But some people will say, don't do that, pay off debt first. Some people will say, do that and then pay off debt. In my opinion, I would do the 401k to get that out of the way so I know that at least something's going for my future. Then I would pay off my debt. I would pay off my debt before I start a brokerage institution because of this. When you owe bills and you owe debt, that's a guaranteed bill that's coming to your house that you owe the banks. They want their money, all right? When you pay them off and knock that bill out, that's a guaranteed raise you just gave yourself. You could put that in other places. You can save more aggressively. You can invest more aggressively. You have more money and your lifestyle gets better when you're not owing people. That's just what I would do. I would pay off debt. The third thing I would do is I would open up a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA, what that is tax-free money pretty much. You, as of 2023, you can contribute $6,500. You could put that, if you make over a certain threshold, I believe it's over $144,000 for a single and 288. You have to, I really don't know. I know for me, I have to do a backdoor Roth IRA. That's for high income earners where you got to do a conversion. First, you put the money into a traditional, then you convert it to a Roth IRA. But I would do a Roth IRA. That money gets to grow tax free. You don't pay taxes on that. All right. That's the third thing I would do, a Roth IRA. Find a big brokerage institution, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, whoever it has been around a long time. I don't mess with these little dinky platforms. I don't mess with Moomoo, Webull, M1 Finance. I don't mess with none of these little stupid brokerage institutions that conveniently popped up around 2020 and 2019 and 2018, and they're popular. I don't do that. I do big stalwarts. I would do the Roth IRA, and I would put the money in at the beginning of the year, invested in either really good ETFs. I'm sorry, ETFs. I would, SCHD is one that I have. I'm not telling you to buy this, but I love SCHD. I have VYM and I have VNQ, and I put only dividend growth stocks in my Roth IRA, like Apple, Microsoft. I like Verizon because I like Verizon. That's a whole nother video. But okay, I'm gonna tell you now. I like Verizon because pretty much Apple, when you go to Verizon, you're gonna get an Apple phone. You go to AT&T, you're gonna get an Apple phone or an Android. So that's why I like Verizon. They're not going anywhere. They have a nice dividend. I like to put a lot of my ETFs that pay dividends. I like to start with that in the Roth IRA. Remember, I already have the S&P 500 in my 401k. Now, once I do the Roth IRA with the ETFs, with any stock you want, you can put anything in there, whatever you want to put in there. I put ETFs, and if I didn't have ETFs in there, I would put the total stock market or an S&P 500 all over again. Those are the main things I would put in there so I don't get it wrong, and that gets to grow tax-free, and when I pull that money out, it's tax-free. The fourth thing I would do is open up a brokerage institution. I would open up a brokerage institution. Now, either 3 or 4, I would start another S&P 500. Have 2 S&P 500s, one through the job and one on my own. Once I did the backdoor Roth IRA, I would either put ETFs in there with Charles Schwab or JEPI or whatever you guys want to do, and then I would start another brokerage account. And the main thing of my brokerage would be 80 to 85% S&P 500 or total stock market. 80%, 10% international fund, meaning I get 80% of the US market and 10% of the international market, or I would do 70% international market. No, excuse me. 70% US market, 10 or 20% international market, and whatever you want to do with the other 10%. Please don't day trade with that money. Put it in individual stocks that pay dividends, big S&P 500 companies if you want to do that. Do not day trade with that money. Don't get risky with 2%, 5%, 10%, because that money can grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars if you do it right. The last thing I would do would be a dividend fund. Here's why. People say when you have an S&P 500 or total stock market index fund, you could do the 4% rule, meaning your first year of retirement, example, you have $1 million, you take out $40,000. As long as you do the 4%, and inflation's running at 2%, the next year you could do $40,800. And it's like the whole Trinity thing that you won't run out of money for like 30 years or whatever years. But then what happened in rare cases where inflation's running hot, 9%, 8% that we have now? This is why dividend funds are getting popular. This is why I started a dividend fund, because this could be extra money that goes along with all your investments that are paying you. So not only will you have your 401k, not only will you have a Roth IRA, not only will you have a brokerage institution, not only will you be debt free, now you have a separate portfolio, a whole separate brokerage institution paying you dividends to go along with whatever's left of what Social Security is going to pay you. That would be my complete safety net, and that's why I have it to this day. Because now some people are going to say real estate, do what you want. If you want real estate and you want renters to help pay your bills, do that. But for me, I didn't want the headaches. I've had renters before. I didn't want that call 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, that the toilet bowl stopped up. I get there with the plumber and there's a softball or a teddy bear that was flushed. I didn't want to deal with that. So I I started a dividend fund. Here's another thing. If you're gonna do REITs, meaning VNQ, you know, like REIT, ETFs, O Realty, and all these REITs, keep them in a tax sheltered account, meaning a Roth IRA. Don't put them in your regular dividend portfolio if you're still working, because those are non-qualified dividends. Those get taxed as regular income. You want to put those in tax sheltered accounts like a Roth IRA. That's what I would do. I don't own O Realty. I own VNQ. Why take one when I can have them all? So that's how I did my portfolio, and that's, if I can start all over again, that's what I would do, and I hope this video helps. No regrets.